Welcome back to the Triple Coverage Sports Podcast. How we feeling, boys? We got a great show for you today. We had a popcorn divisional round. We'll get into those
She was popcorn.
reactions, and then we're going to make some predictions for the conference championship round. Any initial thoughts, boys? Any initial thoughts?
Stoked to get into these games. A crazy weekend of football, and just ready to dive into it.
Yeah, I'm really fired up. I'm really excited to really just get down to Perry's overall playoff prediction record here, man. Honestly, that's what I'm looking forward to the most in this podcast. So let's get right down into it, man. Let's get a little recap going of this past week. As I was saying, why don't we start out here? Ryan, you go first. Let's go over our total playoff prediction records here, and let's see what we thought about these games.
Yeah, so like I said, whenever you guys are on the same page, it kind of turns out being good for me. I was 4-0 this weekend.
Good for the weekend.
And overall, I mean, like, they were tricky games. That Bills-Broncos game was an absolute nail-biter, as well as the Bears-Rams could have gone either way. But 4-0 this week and 8-2 for the NFL playoffs, so pretty solid record. I also got my Super Bowl prediction still intact with the Rams.
Nice, bro.
Yeah. I'll take this one away. Not proud to go over this right now, but a 1-3 weekend. Now 3-7 overall in the playoffs. But the good news we got here is that my Super Bowl pick is still alive. The Seattle Seahawks. Something that Luke can't say at this stage after Josh.
Hey, bro, welcome to the club.
What?
Welcome to the club.
I got a new Super
after
Bowl
Josh Allen
pick
lost to
today.
the Broncos.
No, I mean that's probably better than the record, I would say.
What?
Yeah, like who cares about the record?
We're taking
like who's gonna
We're
win?
taking
So we're
yeah, exactly.
dogpiling.
I mean, I think at the end of the
Okay.
postseason, it's going to be do
No,
we
I
get
see
the
how we're
Super
going
Bowl? I think
Yeah,
it's more valuable to have the Super Bowl predicted correctly, the Super Bowl
Yeah,
winner
so-
predicted correctly than the record.
Yeah, so
Well-
we got a big head-to-head this weekend.
Well, let's just say your Super Bowl prediction, when it comes down to it, is not going to be correct, and I will be predicting the correct Super Bowl winner today. Just say
So
that.
who are you taking out of these last four teams?
Wait,
not the Seahawks.
Let's go game by game here, and then we'll get into this.
And my record is
monstrosity.
6-4, I think, right? I went 2-2 this weekend.
Yeah,
Very
average.
Yeah, right. I'm right in the middle between Perry and Ryan here. There might be a chance, depending on how we pick these games, that I could come back here and possibly
but
beat Ryan technically. But at least maybe
no,
tie.
but the tiebreaker is whose Super Bowl favorite made it the farthest. So
no, but wait, what? That was never agreed upon, you little.
All right, let's get
crud.
into the first game that we saw this weekend. The Bills lose in overtime, 30-33. What did you guys think of this game? Give me kind of the rundown of what you saw out there in Denver.
Yeah, I thought it was a fantastic game. Trading blows all game long. The Broncos and the Bills were. I thought Bo Nix, he really surprised me. He played a great game overall. Really, really efficient out there. A lot of passing, not running the ball much. And I think really what it came down to was Josh Allen, those few turnovers he had in this game. I think he had 3 in like a 4 or 5 drive span at the end of the first half to the start of that
4
third
total
quarter,
turnovers. Yep.
Yeah,
It was a Josh Allen sell job.
it was a sell job, I guess you could say, but he did play a great game overall. They were down 23-10, and he rallied his guys back to a 4-point lead with a few minutes left and gave the defense a chance to win the game, but wasn't able to close it in overtime. Really gutting for Josh. Didn't have much help all season, and didn't get the call in overtime that a lot of people were debating about, that whether that was an incompletion or a catch for the Bills or an interception. And the Broncos advance. I think it was the correct call as well, as bad.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you on that. I just think Josh Allen was too careless with the football. I think if he limits those turnovers to just 2 instead of 4, I think the Bills win this one in regulation. So really that turnover before the half was one of the worst turnovers we've seen in a while.
An atrocity. Terrible turnover.
Why aren't you going into the halftime locker room down 7 and just kneeling that football with less than a minute? I think they had less than like 30 seconds.
He was running around with the ball in like one hand with just absolutely carelessly. So,
to be fair, his lineman should have jumped on that ball and secured it, but that was just pretty careless. And I think Bo Nix played really solid, and you got to really feel for him with how that ankle injury came down, and that was the biggest win of his career. So.
Yeah, man, he's crying and shit. Brutal.
Also, something else to add here is Josh Allen. The overtime against Mahomes. They were complaining that he wasn't getting the ball in overtime. His team gets the stop to start OT this year, and he gets his chance to go win the game and doesn't get it done. So just absolutely devastating for Josh there.
And how do you guys feel about the comparison that people are making online that Josh Allen is the new Phillip Rivers? He's 1-5 on the road in the playoffs.
Nobody's making that comparison, bro. No. Where did you get that What? No. What kind of news articles are we reading here, bro?
I'm just saying.
Phillip Rivers.
I'm just saying in terms of playoff success, not physical ability. He hasn't even got to a Super Bowl yet, and Phillip Rivers had the same struggles in his career. I think we got to discuss it.
No, I actually don't think this is an outrageous comparison. If we're talking from a strictly accolade standpoint, right? I mean, I don't think they're similar. Phillip Rivers was a great quarterback, had a fantastic career, but obviously, if Josh Allen stays on this trajectory
he's already 30
of not making Super Bowls.
He's already 30.
If he doesn't make a Super Bowl or win one, it's I think it's actually not a terrible comparison.
And I'm saying nothing about physical ability or game style or anything. I mean, I think you have to look at it, and I think that's why they fired McDermott. They needed a fresh start, and sadly, McDermott had to take the fall. I thought it could have been the GM, but they're going to get a new coach, and hopefully Josh Allen can turn around these playoff woes. But I think this was a big opportunity for him in this playoffs with no Mahomes, no Burrow, no Lamar. So
yeah, it is a little disappointing, but that comparison is outrageous. I'm not gonna lie, dude. That shit is outrageous.
Bro, you gotta ask the tough questions. Man.
It's not really disappointing for Josh. But yeah. How about we get into this next one, boys?
Yeah, we got to move into these games here.
Next game we got here was the New England Patriots against the Houston Texans, a defensive masterclass for New England. What do you guys got on this one?
CJ Stroud, man, he blew up. He blew up that game. Bitch, I'm about to blow up.
That was horrible from CJ.
Never looked comfortable. Even the intermediate throws he was missing them. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was
a lot of credit to that Patriots defense. They were creating a lot of turnovers, but a lot of that was self-inflicted by CJ. And his receivers weren't helping him out either, in my opinion. But yeah, just a rough start for CJ, and going to be a long off season for the Texans.
Yep.
Yeah. This one was pretty brutal.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Would you have to say over there? Right?
No, go ahead, bro.
The Texans organization has never got past the divisional round in their history, so that was a tough loss for those fans in that city, man. You can only feel for them.
Damn, that's a poverty franchise.
They've had a few opportunities the last few years, and I mean, this game, I thought the Texans defense played fantastic. They gave CJ plenty of chances to, get out there and kind of take advantage of this game. Starting off with a turnover, giving them a short field, starting off with a lead, and then the pick six. After the pick six, I think it really just went downhill from there. The Texans defense the game went how I anticipated. I said the Texans wouldn't need to score 20 to win this game. And I mean, if CJ doesn't give the Patriots 14 points, pretty much giving them a short field and then giving them a pick six, I think that would have been the case. But unfortunate how it went down. And I think now it's really time for the Texans to say, are we going to stick with CJ Stroud going forward?
I think that's a very valid question.
I think they should.
And I think Drake May kind of had a similar game than last week against the Chargers. Had some turnovers, didn't look great, but I feel like in this one he made a lot better throws in crunch time. They were only down 6 in that fourth, and that Keyshawn Boutte throw was an absolute dime. Probably it was an insane play by Keyshawn Boutte. That was his first ever one-handed catch, believe it or not, and it came in a big spot. So,
he's never made a one-handed catch before?
Not in the NFL.
Yeah, I think definitely it was a better performance for May this week. I didn't think he had his A stuff, to say the least, but had a few fumbles. I mean, still played a solid game. And
I think he had like 4 or 5 fumbles and lost 2 of them. So that
that
was pretty tough.
Got a little lucky with how the ball bounced there, but not taking anything away from the young man to get into his first AFC championship game.
Yeah, big shout out to that young man. Just absolutely proving the haters wrong here, as they say. Let's get into this next game. Rams get a big win over the Bears, and some say a cold weather thriller. I just made that up right here on the spot. Going into this game, I know Perry took the Bears there. Me and Ryan had the Rams, and this game didn't really go how I thought it was going to go. I did not think Caleb Williams was really going to ball out like he did, and I was very surprised.
I gotta get in here. Ben Johnson's got to take all the criticism for this loss. I mean, just terrible coaching decisions all game long. This game reminded me a lot of Dan Campbell against the San Francisco 49ers.
I agree.
Last year in the NFC Championship, or that was 2 years ago. But I mean, they start out the game, get down the field quickly, a 3rd and 3, they don't convert. It's like, we got to start the game off with points here. They go for it. Caleb throws a pick, and they ended up this game 3 for 6 on 4th down, with 2 of those being late in the game. I mean, over the 2 weeks, they were 5 for 12 on 4th downs. Just going for 12 4th downs in 2 weeks, I think, is egregious. Caleb played great. I think they left about 6 points out there by not taking field goals, and I believe this loss is going to go on the coaching here. I thought Caleb played his heart out. That defense was flying around the field, and definitely a devastating loss for Caleb. And I think Ben Johnson's got to take the blame for this one.
No, I mean, not settling for a field goal on the opening drive, it could really deflate a team, because you have a good drive on your opening drive, and you go down the field. 4th and 3 is not like a no-brainer. Go for it as well. Take your points.
Yeah. We weren't talking about like a 4th and inches here.
No, it's a moral victory. It's a cold game. You got to take your points early in the game, and that was a very curious move. But Spook said like Caleb Williams played unbelievable.
He did. He had the single.
He had 3 interceptions.
Greatest. Yeah, bro.
I think a lot of people are going to look at it. Everybody's going to look at that play. It was one of the most unbelievable plays I've ever seen.
Exactly. On 4th down, mind
you. I'm leaning with Ryan here. I think Caleb.
The difference is this game was the Rams played clean football. They had little to no penalties, and they won the turnover battle 3-0. So
another moment to go back to in this game was with about 5 minutes left. I mean, the Bears were just struggling in short yardage situations all game long. They had like a 1st and goal at the 3-yard line. They weren't able to capitalize there, and they were able to get the game into overtime with a heroic play that you guys were talking about from Caleb. But I mean, just not the Rams, just like Ryan said, were playing more complimentary football, playing just a smarter game, converting on big plays, and the Bears weren't able to do that here, and that is why they weren't able to come out on top. But I thought the Bears could have come out with this one, just
and I even think McVay played it a little safe towards the end of that game. They didn't even throw it on 3rd down when they just need 1 first down to ice the game. They run it, punt it back to Caleb, and he goes down the field with that crazy play to Cole Kmet. But I want to bring up
about the pick in overtime.
I just a miscommunication, but
brutal.
I don't think you could put that on DJ Moore. But that was just a rough throw on 2nd down. I think you got to check that ball down, and live to see another play there. But I have another question in this game. After that heroic play, the building is going absolutely nuts. If you're Ben Johnson with that aggressive mindset, are you going? Would you have gone for 2 in that situation?
I was thinking they were going to actually go for 2 there. I mean, with how Ben Johnson was calling the game, with all those 4th downs he was going for throughout the whole game, I thought they were definitely going to consider going for 2. And I saw in his post-game press conference he said that he considered it. And I don't think it was the wrong play not to go for 2, but definitely I think it's something that you could look back on and say they could have went for the win right there and taken the ball out of Stafford's hands.
Yeah, I thought they were going to go for 2 as well, but I think it was the right decision not going for 2, especially, Caleb just made an insane play to keep you in it. And then if you go for 2.
No, that's why a lot of people are saying to go for 2.
So many things to go wrong.
You have all the momentum. This defense is –
you make that kind of play, and then so much can go wrong on just one play in that cold temperature. You make that crazy play, so much can go wrong, and it's all over. That play was all for nothing just because you decided to go for 2. I think, taking that momentum going into overtime with, how the way Caleb was playing, I agree with the confidence, to go into overtime. But, man, that interception was brutal. If Caleb Williams could have just finished that game out, that would have been one of the greatest, playoff late game performances I think we've seen with that pass. That was incredible.
Also, another way you need to look at it. Another way you need to look at it, though, is that if he goes for that 2-point conversion and doesn't get it, that is literally the headline on everywhere.
That's definitely in the back of his mind. That's the worst feeling, I bet, as a head coach.
Because if they go for that 2 and don't get it, Ben Johnson, he's just getting absolute hated by the media. I mean, he was going for 4th downs, I thought, unnecessarily all game. And, I mean, if they were not able to convert on that one, that would have even put him further into the grave, with that. So I don't mind it, but – just like Luke said, that would have been one of the craziest playoff moments I would have ever of all time if he was able to close it in overtime.
I agree. Let's get on to this next one. The Seahawks absolutely dominated Purdy and the Niners. 41-6 was the final. This game was over very early on. Give me your guys' thoughts on this one. We could go quick because this was a beatdown.
Yeah, I think it was a brutal beatdown. I think I took the Seahawks in this one. I didn't see it being this much of a beatdown, but I definitely the Seahawks are probably the hottest team in the NFL right now. And I think there are a lot of people Super Bowl favorites, so I definitely saw them winning this game significantly, but damn, I haven't seen some shit like that since Vietnam probably. That shit was a brutal obliteration.
That was a beat down there, and this is why I picked the Seahawks, as my Super Bowl pick before the playoffs. The Seahawks, I think they have the best roster in the NFL, top to bottom. I mean, from the defense to the offense to the special teams, starting off with just a great pickup at the trade deadline this year with Rashid Shaheed. Gives them some more electricity with a kickoff return to start the game. Buildings rock in the full game, and I think it was just a domino effect from that first play. Darnold didn't even have to do much in this game. I think he threw for 130 passing yards and a touchdown. JSN had 20 yards receiving. I mean, this is just absolute domination, not even having to have your stars show up and play a great game. And this is why I think the Seahawks are going to roll this weekend against the Rams and, go on to win the Super Bowl this year.
I mean, yeah, this is exactly what the Seahawks were looking for coming into this game. Sam Darnold had that oblique injury coming in. He hadn't thrown since Thursday. There's a lot of question marks around it, and they really got that run game going. Kenneth Walker was balling, and, like you said, special teams, Rashid Shaheed has been electrifying as well. So I think Darnold is going to be fresh for the next game, like you said, and this Rams-Seahawks game is going to be absolute popcorn.
Sad to see Charbonnet go down as well, the RB2 down there for Seattle. Hoping the best for him.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Next up, we got our playoff matchups and predictions coming in here for this next week for the AFC and NFC championship, boys. We're officially in the championship football, man. I couldn't be more excited. The atmosphere is electric. The atmosphere around Cincinnati is electric. Just being around here and shit. And I'm excited for this game. So let's get into the first game. We got Patriots versus Broncos. This is going to be one hell of a game. Do we want to go one by one, or should we just say who we got?
I think we go one by one here. I'm going to start off by saying this game, I think, is going to be a lot closer than people think. Everybody's thinking that.
Wait, let me stop you right there. These are the two teams that you said were the biggest frauds in the NFL.
You did say that, bro.
How do you feel that these are the two teams playing for the AFC Championship? And what are your thoughts?
Ryan wants smoke today.
Yeah, what are your thoughts?
Yeah,
this is what you said.
You famously did say both these teams were fraudulent. So I think you
completely valid to call me out there. I mean, completely off on my sense there. These are the two teams that I didn't expect to see in the title game here, but obviously I was completely wrong. And I think going back on, my takes there, I think that the AFC is just not as at a very high level because, what I'm looking at is as number 1 and 2 seeds of the past few seasons. When you see a 1 and 2 seed, you see a really elite football team. I mean, I think the Broncos and Patriots, not horrible teams by any means, but, these are usually mid-tier playoff teams. I think if you threw these teams in the NFC, they would be, 4, 5, 5, 6 seeds. And, I didn't take into consideration this AFC, not the strongest year. And, I was just wrong. I thought the Jaguars were a lot better. I thought the Chargers were better. And, I was wrong. The Mike Vrabel and Sean Payton are great coaches, know how to win games, and just got to apologize publicly for that one.
Hey man, apology not accepted. Do better.
You were with me. You were with me on saying the Patriots were frauds. Why are you trying to act like you're clear from this, bro?
Wait.
You were saying the Broncos were frauds too. We can pull up these clips.
Wait, I'm gonna pull this up.
I think you're breaking out here.
I want to get your thoughts here. Some people are saying, because you did bring up a valid point, maybe these aren't our stereotypical 1 and 2 seeds. Let me just run down Drake May's path to the AFC Championship. So first they played playoff
going on a victory lap
with no offensive line. No, I'm kind of backing up them. Then they went and played the Texans at home with no Nico Collins, their number 1 wide receiver. And then they're going to get Jarrett Stidham on the road to go to the Super Bowl. So do you think this is the most fraudulent playoff run of all time?
This is the most fraudulent playoff run of all time, and it's not even close.
Whoa!
This is
slow your roll.
Very frustrating to see. Because they had the easiest schedule in the league in the regular season, and that kind of carried over to the playoffs. But I still don't see them winning the Super Bowl, so this isn't going to really worry me when the Seahawks are lifting the Lombardi.
Mud's doing everything but giving Drake May his credit, man. Hey, Drake May didn't ask for this easy schedule. This is just the way the pens dropped, the way the soldiers crawled, man.
He's got to take advantage of it. I'm going to be honest. He has to.
He has been. And he really
has.
So
he's got the wins when they needed him.
If he loses to Steedham and this week, then maybe
the way you said Steedham, bro.
Steedham, bro. Yo, dude, you need to get your ball knowledge checked.
Jared Steedham, bro.
Okay. Well, we kind of got off topic there. Do you want to get? Let's get back into
predictions?
This game. Yeah, so going back to what I was saying, I think this game's actually going to be a lot closer than what people think. People are thinking that the Patriots are going to roll with this game because the Broncos have a backup quarterback playing. But like I've been saying all year long, Bo Nix had a great last game, but I think all season long, the reason the Broncos have been so successful is not strictly from the quarterback play. I think it's from the system built around the quarterback and that defense. And I think the Broncos are going to be able to keep this one close. I still do have the Patriots squeaking it out, but I think it is something to watch out for. It's not going to be a Patriots pounce of like 2 scores, running the Broncos off the field. But I just think this Patriots defense is going to be too much for a backup quarterback in Stidham. And I think Drake May hasn't even shown his best stuff so far this postseason. So if he's able to have, an A or B performance, I see the Patriots coming out of Denver with a victory and advancing to the Super Bowl.
I also have the Patriots. I think the keys to victory here are for Drake May needs to limit the turnovers. He has 5 turnovers through two games, and even more fumbles that were recovered by the Patriots. So, it's going to be easier said than done. We saw the Denver defense get 4 turnovers on Josh Allen and 5 on the Bills with that James Cook fumble. But I just think overall the inexperience of Stidham, it's only going to be his 5th NFL start. There is a lot of uncertainty there, though. He could go out and throw for 300 and really keep him in this game. But I think overall this Pats defense is playing at an elite level. Maybe the most underrated defense in the playoffs so far. They've been absolutely masterful. I got the Patriots by a touchdown.
Yeah, and then I'll go third here. I got the Broncos in this matchup, man. I got the Broncos riding high. Let me tell you one thing about this Broncos team, man. I'm going to tell you one thing right now. This Broncos team, this team is fired up. This team is the most fired up team in the NFL. This is a team coming off their starting quarterback getting injured. If you think Jared Stidham is not going to go into this game and he's not going to absolutely go balls to the walls all out, then you've got another thing coming. What did we see with Nick Foles? He made it all the way and he won a championship. This is going to be a repeat of what we see with Stidham. And this is we're gonna.
This is also a way different situation than Foles. This is a way different situation.
Foles is a better situation.
Wentz went down in week 15. Wentz went down in week 15. We're talking about a quarterback coming in the AFC Championship game.
Foles had to win more games. This guy's only got to win 2, and I'm telling you right now, Jared Stidham is a starting caliber quarterback.
He hasn't been playing.
Can you start by saying his first name correct? It's Jared.
Jared is a starting caliber quarterback in this league. league, and I'm going to tell you that right now. We're going to find out. We're going to find out come this weekend, and I'm going to tell you guys right now.
This guy is the biggest clown on the internet.
No. Biggest clown on the internet. Clown. You guys don't know about Jared, bro. You guys do not know about Jared. I'm saying that.
Is he still
you don't either.
Jared?
Clearly, it's Jarrett.
What? He's still saying Jared.
Yeah, he's still.
Jared? Wait, what? What am I doing?
It's Jarrett. Jarrett.
Wait, what? His
not
name is
Speedo.
Jarrett.
Bro's definitely
like
hating us, bro.
Wait, if his name is Jarrett, I might have to switch my pick, bro. I ain't gonna lie. His name is Jarrett, like carrot. Oh Jesus. Yeah, it's too late. No, I'm still going with Jarrett. No, I got the Broncos in this game. Yeah, Jarrett's slinging.
They call him Stiddy. They call him Stiddy in Denver.
Did he?
Stiddy.
Oh, Stiddy.
Slinging Stiddy, they say.
I thought you said they called him the Diddy of Denver. I was like, damn, this guy's electric. Yeah, no, I got the Diddy of Denver in this matchup here. And it's not going to be close. I got Denver by 14.
14? What? That might, dude. Like, can this please get posted? I mean, this is gonna be age.
I got Denver by 14, bro. What this Broncos defense is gonna
age
absolutely
like
shut down the Patriots.
I said I got Cobb at my 2,
and I think Stiddy might just put up over 30. He just might do it.
If the Broncos win this game by 14, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something I'll do because there is no chance of that happening.
You gotta shave your eyebrows.
That's
I'll shave my eyebrows if the Broncos
okay.
win by 14.
Deal. If the Broncos win by 14, you got to shave your eyebrows, bro.
It can't be 13.
All right, bro.
Got to be 14 or more. All right. Let's get into the next game. We got Rams at Seahawks. This is going to be an insane matchup. Both of the regular season matchups were decided by less than 3 points, and they split the season series. Give me your thoughts, Perry. We obviously know you got your Super Bowl favorite Seattle Seahawks, but yeah, just give me some thoughts on how this one's going to go.
Yeah, 100%. You know, I think Seattle, I think that Lumen Field is going to be absolutely rocking this weekend, you know, just starting off with that. And I think that Sam Darnold's going to be at his best. You know, he's coming off a week where he didn't have to do much. He was dealing with a little bit of an oblique injury. He's going to be coming out fresh. You know, I think that this run game with K9 and no longer having Charbonnet, but K9 was absolutely feasting. I think that the ball is going to be flying around the field. You know, they're going to be finding JSN, Cooper Kupp, all those weapons they got down there in Seattle. That defense has been absolutely devastating all season long. I still think it's going to be a close game, don't get me wrong, but I got the Seattle Seahawks taking this one at home. It's going to be very tough for the Rams coming off back-to-back road games, going into the snowy Chicago, and now going into the loudest stadium in the NFL in Seattle. I have Seattle taking this one. I have it being close, not as close as their last matchup on Thursday Night Football late in the season, but I got the Seahawks winning this one by a score. I'll say a touchdown.
Yeah, I'm with you there, man. I'm taking the Seahawks in this matchup, and I don't think, I think it'll be a close game, but, you know, me deciding this wasn't particularly close here. I just think the Rams are a great team, but, bro, let's be honest, bro. The Seahawks are the most talented roster left in this NFL. Man, I could go on and on about this Seahawks team, man. Sammy D, man, he's been slinging it around.
Slinging Sammy D, man.
They just took a great 49ers team and made them look like a G League roster, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Depleted 49ers, depleted.
Yeah, and guess what, bro?
This game wasn't supposed to be a blowout by any means.
Should be my uncle.
No, I agree with that.
I mean, this was like a 6-point spread, and the Seahawks just absolutely made work of that Niners team.
Yeah.
I mean, I got the Rams here, partly just because that's my Super Bowl favorite. I can't deny how well the Seahawks have been playing. They've been playing unreal on every side of the ball, special teams, defense, offense. Mike McDonald's a brilliant head coach. But in this one, I just think Stafford is going to find Puka for some big plays. Kyron Williams has been very underrated on the ground. And this is a very gritty Rams defense that could produce some turnovers on Slinging Sammy D. That's his one Achilles heel. And he's not fully healthy for this one. I mean, he didn't throw much in the last game. We don't know how that oblique is feeling this week. But it's going to be a super close game. It's kind of a pick 'em in my opinion. A lot of respect to the Seahawks here. It's going to be close. It's a divisional rivalry.
I agree. And now,
what do you see flowing for that Rams offense on this Seattle defense, though? I mean, other than Puka, like you mentioned, I mean, what do you think is going to be the key to success for the Rams to kind of get past the finish line in this one?
I mean, I think the Rams tight ends are going to be a big part of this game. Maybe Puka gets double covered, and Parkinson and Higbee have been really solid throughout the playoffs and in the regular season. But overall, I mean, and you got the MVP in Matthew Stafford. He led the league in touchdowns. He's going to be slinging around the ball no matter what defense is out there, I'm going to be honest.
Okay. That's a good call. Now that we're through these games, our Super Bowl picks as of right now, Ryan's got the Rams. Perry has the Seahawks, right?
Seahawks since the start. Let's go.
And my pick.
No. Yours was the Bills, bro. You can't give a prediction.
Yeah, now I have to give my new Super Bowl prediction.
No, we'll give him a new prediction. He's gonna make himself look dumb again. Like, just let him do his thing.
What do you mean make myself look dumb, bro? I literally have a 1 in 4 chance. How can you make a dumb pick here, bro? And no matter what, you got a 25% chance.
Just make your pick, bro.
All right, my Super Bowl prediction. I think a lot of people are doubting this team right now, and to be honest, I think they have the most sound roster in the NFL. They've had some setbacks. But honestly, I think they're going to shock the world this weekend in the Super Bowl. So I am taking the Denver Broncos in the Super Bowl, baby.
There's no way he took the time
to do
this.
Broncos faithful. They're bringing it back to Mile High. They're bringing this one home, baby. I got Denver right over my heart right here because we're winning this, and it's not even going to be close. Jared Stidham is going to pull a Nick Foles, and we're doing this shit, baby. Come on.
I like how he said well-rounded roster when they have a backup QB playing.
Because Jared Stidham is the truth, bro. He's the truth. And I'm done with this shit, bro.
I want to ask you guys a question. I've seen some people say this. Do you think this NFC Championship game is basically the Super Bowl? I don't see the Super Bowl going to an AFC team at this point.
I think the NFC Championship game is quite literally the Super Bowl. I mean, it's kind of been known from the start of the playoffs that the NFC is a lot stronger than the AFC this year. And the games that we've seen so far in this playoffs has really proved it. I mean, we are not even seeing, like, for example, take Drake May as an example. He hasn't had to bring his best stuff, and they're still cruising in games. I mean, just the competition in the AFC. I think if Drake May has a performance like he did one of the last few weeks, the Seahawks are absolutely taking advantage of it and running away with like a 2-score win. Same for the Rams. I think the Rams are elite as well compared to these AFC teams that are remaining.
I'm telling you right now, both the Rams or the Seahawks ain't doing shit on this Broncos defense. I'm telling you that right now.
This Broncos defense that gave up 30. They gave up 30 to Josh Allen. I mean,
I'm telling you right now.
This is the last game of their season, bro.
All right, bro. We'll find out, bro. Hey, let's ride. I'm telling you right now that the Broncos are the last team the Seahawks want to play in the Super Bowl, or the Rams want to play in the Super Bowl, because they rely on their offense, and their offense is going to get completely shut down. And when the
Seahawks do not rely on their offense, bro.
So Josh Allen turned the ball over 4 times.
The Seahawks gave up 6 points. They don't need to rely on their offense.
Yeah, but if you think their defense is good, just wait till you see this Broncos defense this upcoming game.
They just gave up 30.
What did Josh Allen just do? He turned the ball over 4 times and scored 30.
Just wait.
All right. Bro. We're gonna get into another topic here that we don't normally talk about. Let's get into some NBA here. LeBron James was not named an all-star starter in 21 years. Does this mean anything? Let me know your thoughts.
I don't think this means anything for my glorious king.
I'm pissed.
LeBron
it's definitely dunk.
LeBron can shoot threes, but aside from that, I think LeBron is still playing at a pretty high level. I don't think he's at the level he once was. He's not needed as a number one option on this team right now, especially when Luka and Reeves are healthy. But I don't think him not getting the starting role in the All-Star game is really affecting his legacy at all or having any impact on anything. But I'm still behind LeBron, and I think he's gonna be able to do some great things in the playoffs this year for the Lake Show.
I think the only way that this would be an actual headline is if he didn't make the All-Star team, but that didn't happen. He's just not starting, and that starting five for the West is perfect. They don't need to change anything there. LeBron should not be a starter.
Yeah, I'd concur with that. I am a bit pissed though at that selection. I wish, I think you just got to give it to him. Like, it's at this point in career, it could be his last year. You gotta let him be in there. He's gone on this long of a streak. We're gonna kind of disrespect him like that, but it's all right. These kind of things are all just a popularity contest anyway. They're probably doing it to just prop up these other guys to try and make the
If NBA it was popularity, then LeBron would be a starter, bro.
No, but what they're trying to do is stir headlines, bro. They're successful, bro. They got the 3 biggest names in all of sports currently talking about it. So they're doing it. We're falling right into their little trap.
Yeah, but also this All-Star, something that happened to LeBron this season that was even more gutting was that 10-point streak ending. I was watching the end of that game against the Raptors, and of course
he's got to take that. He's got to take that shot, bro. He's got to.
But of course, LeBron's going to make the right play. Skip. Is Michael on Twitter and start saying something about how he's scared to take the game-winning shot. But when he does take the game-winning shot, he's a ball hog. So it's I'm happy for LeBron. I'm just happy to see him play a little longer and the end of his amazing career.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Let's move on. Sad news for the Warriors. Jimmy Butler has torn his ACL. Luke, you're a Warriors fan. How are you feeling?
This is not a laughing matter, bro. I was very emotional earlier when I saw this news. It's
Bro, you're gonna be all right, man.
This team is.
It's all good. We're with you, man.
I've watched almost every minute of Warriors basketball this season, and not having Jimmy out there, it's a blow for this team. I'll tell you that. But what this does mean is that Steve Kerr is going to have to go make a move before the deadline comes up.
Do you think they're going to trade Kuminga?
God, I hope so. And we're going to have to make a splash. Maybe get Giannis on the team now. That's our only hope. That's
breaking news. Giannis is the front runner to go to Golden State.
Bro, there's been talks before, bro. This ain't out of thin air, bro. I'll tell you that right now. But yeah, prayers up for Jimmy, man. Hopefully he recovers his ACL injury down there. And listen, man, we're all rooting for you, bro. I think I can speak for all three of us men on this podcast right now, where we're all Warriors fans this year. Just rooting for you now. So I think I can speak for all of us when I say we're all hoping the Warriors do well this season now.
Super sad for Jimmy, but I'm not behind the Warriors. Lake Show all the way.
Okay, that was disrespectful. Okay,
you said super sad, bro.
Okay,
super sad for Jimmy. I'm hoping the best for his recovery, but
you didn't even look emotional at all.
All right, final NBA question: where will Ja Morant end up after the deadline?
Yeah. I think this is a great question. I have Ja Morant ending up in Miami on the Miami Heat. I think this is a great landing spot for him. He's going to be able to really help out this Miami team, kind of in need of a star player, a point guard. Hopefully he doesn't get on the Instagram lives and start throwing up guns again. But I think that if Ja Morant stays locked in and he keeps playing ball and, focusing on his craft, I think he is definitely capable of being a top 10 point guard in this league. And he has shown it when he was on Memphis a few years ago. Absolutely elite. So I think the Miami Heat is the best team that he could help out. And it would be the best landing spot for him.
Yeah, I was absolutely going to say the same thing. I think Miami is a great landing spot for them. They're looking for a number one ball handler. I think Ja Morant can create. He has great vision, and he's got that bounce as well. A new fresh change for him. I just don't know if Miami's a great fit. So there's a lot of noise in Miami, and it could get really dicey. But
I could see the Wizards maybe.
The Wizards? They just got Trae Young.
All right, moving on here. Let's go to the next topic here. Next topic of the day. Oh, my. Righty.
Do we want to get into these hot questions or?
Yeah. No, you're skipping over the MLB?
Oh, sure. MLB, big question here. I believe they are before I even ask the question, but
believe what? Who or what?
Are the Los Angeles Dodgers ruining baseball? I mean, they just signed Kyle Tucker. They're spending billions of dollars on this roster. I mean, I know Ryan's a Dodgers fan over there. I don't even know how you could support this team. They don't develop players. They find players.
They don't develop players.
Thank you, Perry.
They don't develop players.
We have the best farm system in the MLB.
Yeah,
and how many of them are on the team?
That's literally player development.
I mean, you guys are winning. Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts. Did you guys draft these guys? Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, Teoscar Hernandez. I could go on and on. The list. Shohei Ohtani.
The farm system is just.
Did you draft these guys? Did you draft these guys?
Yeah. Where's your farm system on the team?
Yeah,
Andy Pages.
Pages.
We're talking like
Gratterall.
We're talking 2 of the 10 guys or 2 of the 9 guys that are in the batting order. I mean, are probably drafted by the Dodgers. It's kind of upsetting to see the MLB going on this trajectory. Actually, I just don't think it's great for the sport.
Absolutely, they're not ruining baseball. They're not doing anything illegal. They're just smarter and richer than every other team. Andrew Friedman, our GM, is an absolute mastermind. I like to say he's a small market GM with all his savviness and being smart with his money. But he's just in a big market where he has the capital to back himself and bring in these big players. And they're not doing anything illegal.
The Dodgers spend more money.
The Yankees can do this. The Mets can do this.
And what about the 14 teams that total net worth doesn't even equal the amount of money that the Dodgers are only spending on players? There's 14 MLB teams that the entire net worth of the team is less than the payroll that the Dodgers are spending, bro. 14.
That sounds
how
like
are these
their
teams supposed to how are these small market teams supposed to compete, bro? It's literally impossible.
So don't get mad at the Dodgers. Get mad at the MLB for not having systems in place.
I'm pissed at both.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's
Shohei Ohtani should request a trade.
I think it's an MLB thing, but I don't know. We'll see if they do anything about it. Another big thing that just happened was the New York Mets are bringing in Bo Bichette on a 3-year deal. What do you guys think about this? Rye, what do you think?
I like the move. Bo Bichette had a great year, batted over 300. I think $42 million is a great deal for Bo. I just worry about kind of the balance of this team. I think they have 4 or 5 second basemen. They have Jorge Polanco, Marcus Semien, and now bringing in Bo Bichette. And obviously you got Lindor at short. So one of those guys are going to have to play third. I don't know who it will be. I love the move. I think it balances the batting order with a right-handed infielder. Yeah, that's what I have to say. I just don't really get the fit bringing in another second baseman.
Yeah, it'll be cool to see Boba Fett out there just flying around. He's got some cool armor. He's got like a cool little weapon on him too. So surprising move. I didn't think they were gonna bring in a Star Wars character into that. Boba Fett or Boba.
Yeah, that's enough. That's enough.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, hey, that's a good catch.
I would agree, though. I think it's a good move, but just like you said, it's going to be tricky with the amount of second basemen they have. Do we want to get into the hot questions here?
Yeah.
Let's get into the hot questions, man. You want me to start it out?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, man. Should the Houston Texans move on from CJ Stroud after his, might I add, putrid performance in this last playoff game?
This is a question that a lot of people are asking right now. And I think it's a lot of recency bias, but
I'm asking.
The writing's on the wall. Since his rookie season, he's only digressed. And they've had some tough losses in the playoffs. They're getting to the second round, but they haven't been able to get over the hump of the divisional round. And he was pretty banged up this year. I ultimately do not think they should move on from CJ Stroud. I think it's just too hard to let a QB of that caliber walk. What are your thoughts?
I think that people are overreacting a little bit. I definitely think it was super underwhelming. I mean, the performance he put out, he lost them the game. I think with even below average quarterback play that the Texans win that game, and he was far from it. And I believe that you got to give him another year or two. I mean, he's done great things for the Texans.
When does his contract expire? Because that's a big thing as well.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure.
Because you give him like the $50 million extension per year, like that's a lot of money for.
No, if he's asking top of the market, you don't pay him shit. You let him walk. But if he's asking like mid market, kind of
runs through the 2026 season. So yeah, you give him one more year.
Well, there's a team option for 2027, so I'm pretty sure they can keep him on that deal.
The old franchise tag.
Yeah,
but
so,
I think teams calling about him as well. Like teams could trade for him if the Texans aren't extremely high on him. I know they got Davis Mills in the same QB room that's been pretty solid when he's been out there.
I mean, I don't think it's a full panic situation yet. I think it definitely raises some red flags for the performances he's been putting up these last 2 years, especially this past weekend. But I wouldn't bail on him yet. I still think you give him a little bit of time to develop and see what he can do going forward. What do you think, Luke?
Yeah, me personally, I think it's a bit of an overreaction. I think they give him another year, another shot. There has been a lot of bright sparks out of this young man. And so I think you give him another shot, see how he performs this next season. If he shits himself and shits the bed again, then maybe you start to move on, look for other options here. But, obviously he's gotten him this far and he had one bad game, one horrible game. But I think it's a bit of an overreaction to say, trade his ass.
Okay, I have kind of another hot question on this same topic. Who would you rather start your NFL franchise with? The number 1 pick, Bryce Young, or the number 2 pick, CJ Stroud?
Give me CJ Stroud every day of the week and twice on Sundays. You go, Perry.
Give me Bryce, actually.
What?
I mean,
do you have any reason?
Yeah. So something I got to say about Bryce, we watched that game against the Rams. The Rams are an elite team in the NFL. And Bryce was absolutely dicing up that defense. I think that the Carolina Panthers, it has really gone under the radar. Bryce Young didn't start his career out strong in his first year or two. People have been always hating on Bryce, saying he's too small. He's not built for the NFL, this or that. He was only good in college. And, I think he's really picked it up this season. Still in Carolina, they don't have great weapons around him. I know they brought in Tatora McMillan. And but I think that if they keep building around him, that the Bryce Young is going to be able to prove himself as I wouldn't know if I would go as far as elite, but I would say definitely would be able to push towards those limits. Definitely an above average quarterback, I think, if he's able to keep developing on the track he is in these next few seasons.
And one thing that sticks out for me when I look at Bryce Young is that dude is clutch. I think he's had the most comeback victories in the last 2 years in the NFL. He's been extremely clutch in the last 2 years, and maybe a lot of that was them trailing in those games. They've been not very good before this season, but I think these playoff woes for CJ really open your eyes to what Bryce Young can do. And with Dave Canales, I really like their system over there. So I think I would take Bryce as well.
Yeah, no, Bryce has definitely made some strides, but this is the same some strides. No. Bryce Young has definitely made some strides. But this is the same CJ Stroud that we saw come into the league and
that's a rookie of the year
and win rookie of the year. And like he only played like 8 or 9 games that season and won rookie of the year. Obviously Bryce Young played, had a hell of a year, hell of a comeback year.
8 or 9 games. I'm pretty sure he played the whole year.
Did he?
Did he? It's okay. It's okay. We don't gotta look.
No, it's not okay. I pride myself in being correct.
Okay, let me fact check.
I'm sorry. Are we gonna fact check this one, or can I get into this next question? I'm getting
go into the next one. I'll chime in a second.
I'm extremely excited to announce this next question.
Yeah.
It's a take that I made that a lot of people disagreed with me on this take, including my man Luke up there in the top left, hasn't been making some great takes recently, but I predicted this one correctly. The Chargers are bringing in Mike McDaniel. With hiring Mike McDaniel as their offensive coordinator, do you guys think that Justin Herbert is going to get his first playoff win next season? I think this is a great hiring for the Chargers, and I can't wait for what's to come. What do you think on this question?
I mean, this kind of makes me kind of sad. This was supposed to be the duo that was going to be running the AFC East in Miami. Instead, we drafted Tua Tagovailoa, and I don't have much to say about this one, but you got a great offensive mind in Mike McDaniel. Maybe not the best leader of men as a head coach, but his play calling, his creative mind is absolutely miles above any other OC in the league. This is a great move for the Chargers. And coming off Greg Roman, this is going to be a huge upgrade for them. Huge.
Yeah, I think this is an all right move for the Chargers. You know, Mike McDaniel is no leader of men like Greg Roman was. But personally, I think the Chargers at OC should have gone with Brian Callahan. Main reason for that is because Brian Callahan famously took Joe Burrow to a Super Bowl as an offensive coordinator, and he did it when Joe Burrow had the worst offensive line in the NFL. So I think taking his expertise and bringing him in as an OC with a lot of his expertise on the short passing downs and getting the most out of your quarterback with a bad offensive line. I think the Chargers really could have used that. I don't think it's like a bad hire in any way, as much as I want to come on here and troll.
I mean, you saw what Mike McDaniel made Tua look like in 23.
I think Tua is going to look even better this year with a new offensive coordinator is where I'm at.
He's just going to be on
he was the head coach. But going back into this question, I think this is a huge signing for the Chargers. This is a piece that we were missing. Greg Roman definitely did not elevate this offense, and bringing in the play calling in big situations this season for the Chargers was just not to par. We were losing games because of it, and I think bringing in Mike McDaniel, you see how he's able to scheme things for that Dolphins team. Getting A-Chain out in space. Making Tua look like an MVP candidate a few seasons back. And I think that this is really going to elevate the Chargers. Justin Herbert having an offensive coordinator like this in big moments, finding the right play call. And if the Chargers are able to keep Jesse Minter as their defensive coordinator, I mean, Harbaugh, Minter, McDaniel, I think we have an elite team on our hands here, and I see the Chargers making a deep run, and Herbert's definitely going to get his first playoff win. And that was the question, guys, and you guys didn't get to that. So do you think Justin Herbert will get his first playoff win next season? Yes or no?
No.
I think they will. I think they will. I think Justin Herbert will get a win. And one thing I like about this McDaniel offense is Herbert's going to get the ball out a lot quicker than he was under Greg Roman. That's kind of McDaniel's calling card, are these quick hitters, like schemed up screens that go for 60 yards. I would like to see the Chargers.
Quentin Johnston's going for a 60-yard quick screen.
That's what I'm getting to. I would like to see the Chargers get a little more speed on that offense.
Tyreek Hill, great signing for us this offseason.
Yeah,
will be happening.
Yeah,
Tyreek Hill hates McDaniel.
We'll take Khalil Mack. But I think they need a little bit more speed on that offense. Maybe another running back. Amarion Hampton's vision is worse than Stevie Wonder. So let's just let's move on.
Who's Stevie Wonder?
He's a
okay. Our final question.
Singer.
Our final question of the night. It's been a long one. But we are getting to our final question here. Will John Harbaugh win a Super Bowl as the head coach of the New York Giants? This is breaking news coming in this week that John Harbaugh is going to go over to New York and be coaching up the Giants. Do you guys think he will be able to bring a Super Bowl back to this franchise?
No.
I think that's too tall of a task for me. I like the young core they've got there with Dart, Scattaboo, Malik Neighbors is going to be back. That defense also has some great pieces in Abdul Carter, as well as Dexter Lawrence. But I think this is just too tall of a task for Harbaugh. I mean, what kind of timeline are we thinking? Like, if he's there for 20 years, 10 years?
Damn,
20, I would say like somewhere within the next 6 to 7 years.
Yeah, it's not happening. I think there's too much dysfunction in that Giants organization, and they're playing on the most injury-riddled field of all time, I look for that to be a factor as well.
Yeah, I think a Super Bowl is a little bit crazy to say, but I definitely think that the Giants are going to be a much more competitive team in these next few years to come. I think Jackson Dart's a special talent. I think that getting Harbaugh as his head coach is really going to help his game develop. They didn't get the number 1 pick, and they're sticking with Dart now after the Raiders will be getting Mendoza. And I think that there's some building pieces for Harbaugh to build on. And I believe the Giants, they'll be in the playoffs soon. I don't know if it'll be next season, but definitely within the next few years, I'll see them being a competitive team.
I agree. Yeah. I agree.
I would agree with that as well. All right, guys, last segment to end it off here. We got the most famous segment.
We got to go rapid fire
all
here.
Sports. Let's go rapid fire here. We're just going to go the first 3 here, boys. All right. Mark it down on your play sheets. Here we go. I'll ask the first one. Ryan, you answer this one. Ryan, who is the most overrated team that is left in these NFL playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, I think this answer is pretty simple for me. Okay. This team hasn't really showed a lot on offense, and they've been turning the ball over in crucial situations, but they've kind of been bailed out by their defense and by their opponents, to be quite honest with you. So I think the most overrated team left in the playoffs is the New England Patriots. I don't think Drake May's played at an elite level quite yet. He could prove us wrong in this next one, but I'm going to have to go with the New England Patriots here.
Not a bad take there. Luke, I got this next question for you.
Yeah.
Who is the most underrated team going into next season? 32 of them. Who are you taking as the most underrated?
Yeah.
I think we all.
I'm gonna answer this unbiasedly. I think that if you look at the clean slate of 32 NFL teams, there's a few that, underrated. You have to think of a team that, was not that great this year, but has a lot of upside, has a lot of potential. So in my personal unbiased opinion, I think the most underrated team going into next NFL season is the Cincinnati Bengals. So I'm just going to have to give it to them. I think they're going to –
Really, bro?
I think they could go to a Super Bowl.
That was the most predictable thing ever. That was the most predictable thing
ever. They didn't make the playoffs this year. And they did not make the playoffs this year, and they're probably going to go to a Super Bowl next year. That's the definition of underrated, so I just had to say it.
No, I mean, I think they were just injury riddled. I think they were pretty highly rated going into this year. Then Burrow goes down and all hell breaks loose. So
exactly. All right, let's do
this. That's kind of a cop out answer.
I think we should wrap it up here, boys. It's been great being a part of the show tonight. Went over a lot of topics. Thought there was some great stuff in here. Excited for these games this weekend. Just happy to be on here with you, boys. Any last words?
No, that was great. Couldn't have said it better myself.